with Rataraji's own capsule version of the IIFL. I said that's a thing that should be shown to the Prime Minister. I already took so good, impactful on that and his own presentation. And Ashokji, as always, master presenter on this thing. Some of the answers I'll give to the questions that you raised me here over there. And of course, all the presentations that we have got, not with CDC, Ma'am Ghosh, as well as from EESL, with whom we have a wonderful relationship, working together in the MWP on the municipality and other segments in a very large way. What I'll do is I'll quickly go through the presentation, little rapid fire, faster one, not the slow-paced one, and then try to give a little time for at least about 5 minutes time for a little Q&A. Otherwise, you're just keeping on hearing all of us talking, each one getting back. Some of you must have absorbed it, some of you must have gone out for other side. Let me just try to see the impact on that. So with these particular opening remarks, I think I'd like to get starting on my presentation. The world is growing already in a big way, from just about 6 billion to 9.3 billion is the population 2050. We are about 7.2 billion at this point of time when I'm talking 2019. And the interesting thing is all the developed countries are going to shrink in size. All the ones who have made it big over there, from 1.2 billion, that's going to come down to 1.1 billion, or 120 crores down to 110 crores. Whereas all the developing countries, from 4.9 billion, that's going to increase to 8.2 billion. That's where all the problem is. That's where you don't have housing, you don't have water, you don't have sanitation, you don't have schools, you don't have hospitals, and that's where they don't have money also, they don't have resource also. That's going to increase from 80% down to 88%, and that's the important area where India is standing in that area. And that dip over there also shows there are all the technologies available. They don't want to use it in their countries. They'll all try to come and push those technologies back into the developing countries where development needs are there. Be careful, therefore, what they are trying to bring on from each one of the countries, whether UK or USA or Europe or Japan or Korea, wherever, but be extremely, extremely careful. Therefore, we should get used to technologies, be it on housing or buildings or technology or infrastructure, than what is needed. India itself is growing at a phenomenally large rate, from just 32 crores of population. We had 100 crores by May 2000, and we are phenomenally raising our population. As a matter of fact, what I projected of 2020 on 1350, we are already, today if you take the search on that, we are already, Saab gave a figure of 1.3 billion, I was very happy about that. We are actually 1.32 billion on today, 132 crores when I'm talking to you on the 6th of June 2019 in front of you. We are already 132 crores already. But more important is, look at the way it's grown over there. It's grown from just around 100 crores in 2001. We are already 121 crores. The 2001 11th census put it at 121. We are adding at the rate of 21 crores getting added in just around 10 years time. We are adding at the rate of 20 million or 2 crores every year. India is adding population of 2 crores every year. So what was happening was, so we'll have from 2001 to 2021, the figure that can go up to after 140, it could be the figure by the time 2 more years. So in which case, 40 crores will get added only for the 20 years time. It took 5,000 years of India's civilization, 2000 in AD and 3000 BC, so 32 crores in 5,000 years, 32 crores in 5,000 years, and 40 crores in 20 years. And 50% of all the population is going to come only in urban areas. If you see the adding from 100 to 121 crores between 2001 and 2011, more than 10.5 crores of the increase in population are all in urban. So therefore, India is also getting urbanized. From 16% urbanization, you're getting down to 40% urbanization. That's a very important segment. Demographic explosion as well as urbanization to a very large rate. Now, this is where the need. Any problem? Thank you. That's the type of increase in population required, and we require of the order. Very simple. If you are adding around of the order of around 40 crores, or 40 crores additional population in this period over there, divided by 5 or 4.8, you are thinking of as much of about 9 crores
families. So 9 crores new houses are needed. In the urban area component alone is of the order of around 40 million or 4 crores component coming 2001 to 2030, and that's where the great program of the government of providing housing for all by the year 2022 becomes an important component to provide housing for all people, and that's a figure they had based on the information they had at that point of time, based on the 2011 census and the projections beyond that. So take it or leave it, of the order of around, rightly put by Ashok also, that figure of 20 million or 2 crores component that he talked about there, and that's what was also included in the PMAY program, 30 crores in the, 30 million or 3 crores a house in the rural area and 2 crores a house in the urban area. You're talking roughly about 50 million or 5 crores of housing, both in urban and rural put together. That's what happening, but predominantly all our attention has been drawn for that urban housing program. Phenomenal funding required, $2 trillion for housing needs of all categories. Well, if you build 1 house for the high income, you build 2 houses for the middle income, 3 houses for the low income, and therefore 4 houses for the EWS. Very, very important. This is called the famous 1, 2, 3, 4 rule, and that's what India is all about. Socio-economic, whatever that you have 3 low-income people and 4, out of 3 plus 4, 70% is that. Is a 1 plus 2, 3, that is a high income and middle income housing. And that's where all the contribution for housing is all about. And if you see this particular pyramid, you had a pyramid with different meaning. Ashok put that, but I'm trying to use it for this purpose. Luxury housing of 200 to 300 square meters, high income group, premium housing 100 to 160 square meters for the middle income group. Then comes to the low income group component, affordable, which is about 50 to 80 square meters, and then affordable social housing of 30 to 40 square meters. You will still have one more thing of the HIG, MIG, LIG, EWS, a part of the slide, the real bottom of the pyramid somewhere here, then we call the NIG or call the no income group, or the 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees per month. Otherwise, based on the 2015 one, up to 25,000 rupees or 3 lakhs annual salary is EWS, or 50,000 or 6 lakhs is the annual salary for the low income. Way ahead than 5,000 and 10,000 boss. That's the 2011 economic census. So we got to bring it down to that level. At that level, we can't even afford anything like all the no income group, or where everything has got to be free on that. Now we got to really find out this particular component on the housing area. We got to provide in a very large way, and that's where the whole challenge is all about. And cost is going up phenomenally, just like inflation as an important component of socio-economic indicator. Where do we stand? Whether there's going to be the new policy decision likely to come today from the RBI on interest rates and all the particularly based on inflation and all the things. But all the issues come in the consumer price index and wholesale price index, covering 300 items on food, items, milk, egg, all that. None of the building material component is included there. Not cement, not steel, not brick, or neither WPI or CPI. So therefore, the most important thing, whatever be the inflation level that you go in the country, 50% of that will be the increase in cost of construction. If the inflation is at about 4%, India is going, construction cost increase at 6% annually. That's very, very important. 50% more than your inflation is your building cost index going up. Now, I got a wonderful work done over there, rating all the particular information that is there of covering the wholesale price index, building cost index, and income's also going up. Income's also going up, but marginally there, but the gap between the income and the house from is widening. That's very important. So therefore, even for the, not even the middle income, the housing is becoming difficult. What we thought was affordable of a 2-bedroom account for middle income family, you're finding it difficult for their houses are also shrinking in a very large way. Now, you're having all the components going up, land costs going up, cement costs going up, plywood costs going up, labor costs, very important component. I'm sure an area which we have not factored so far, that's an important component that's happening on mason, carpenter, bartender, plumber, electrician, glass layer, tile layer, all those labor component, they are first of all not available and also increased. So therefore, cost of construction is really going up 15-20%, and therefore affecting not only the weaker section of low income but also the middle income group category. And we require technologies by which you are able to build houses. I'm sure you will get good presentation coming from where G will talk immediately after me. We want everything to be strong, durable, functional, beautiful, environment friendly, ecologically appropriate, energy efficient, affordable, adaptable, and cost effective, and appropriate technology. Appropriate technologies for all conditions, normal, disaster, perceptions, all put together. Now, all these are important components. So I'm one person who is not happy with the word low cost housing because it means low quality, low durability, only for the low income, ugly. That is as against that. We want cost effective housing which will be strong, durable, functional, and at the same time very aesthetically good properties. So you are not only inferior technology but as good as the other one, but bring down the cost in a large way. And for all these particular things, you have all the guiding documents available. The NBC is a very important document. And I'm very happy that the 2016 version of the code has brought in all the information. And the answer to Ashok Lal's question, we want information on the weakest employer. The first time all your building rules in the country talks of only middle income and high income through housing. If you say all the requirements, first bedroom 100 square feet, second bedroom around 80 square feet, the kitchen being 60, blah, 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 all that if you add together, you can only take care of a middle income and high income house. You're talking about 300 square feet, 400 square feet, 600 square feet. The NBC Part 3 covers specific requirements of affordable low income housing in terms of the planning, the layout, the building design, all those features, everything is covered. You don't talk about a kitchen, but you might talk about an alcove or a kitchenette. All type of these details. What is realistic has been brought in. Otherwise, you have to be apologetic to give, I'm ready to give exemption. All this new housing coming, it will not fit into your bylaw, but it will have to go through a process of special clearance to be done. So your provisions are available on that. And in particular, all these requirements are equally important. Not only the design level, buildings have to be strong against all your natural forces, natural calamities, earthquake, landslides. You saw the first slide which was shown, Ratraji, about all the damages happening during earthquake and all that. And I'm very happy when you put money as HUDCO, all those houses in Gujarat, stand the test of time, because as a financing institute we could put a condition, this is seismic zone number 5, 4 and 3. I will not give money. Piper can call the tune. You're calling the tune now, saying that I will not give the money unless you put earthquake resistant features in that. Therefore, that proved very well. Like a lot of other buildings where other leading housing finance companies, it collapsed down. These buildings stood the test of time. It's very necessary. Financial institutions have got to. So it will come in the fire safety, construction safety, and other related aspect also. But now this comes, the new thing beyond safety consideration is the issue of sustainability. Talk of environment, ecology, energy, effective and efficient use of all resources. Land as a resource, building material as a resource, energy as a resource, and then faster connectivity to be brought in, quality of life and sustainable development. And all these are in the context of not only the first time the life cycle has come in over there. Nobody has talked about that all these days. As long as your building stood, completed, planned it, designed it, constructed it, occupancy certificate, architect gone, engineer gone, builder gone. You're not talking what's happening 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. So we are talking in terms of life cycle cost of cradle to grave or a womb to tomb approach of how many years is going to lose that particular building in a very large way. Designing, sourcing, building, operating, decommissioning out of 40, 50 years, reusing and disposing. Where will you take all the material that you're going to demolish now? What stood about 100 years back? So you got to think of it right at this particular point of time in the life cycle costing area. And all this in the context of the same slide was shown over there on Sustainable Development Goal. 2015 September, 193 countries have signed for this. 11 out of the 17 are affecting you. 11 out of 7 is directly impacting. And therefore, keeping that in view, we are very happy that when we had the National Building Code coming, the first building code in the world, even now, on date, 2019, which has got sustainability chapter added. So that means beyond all the safety and other things which were there so beautifully done on concrete code, steel code, earthquake, services, you got this chapter added on siting, form, design, external development, landscaping, envelope optimization, passive design. All architects do those particular things. Materials and water management, waste management, as well as building service for energy management, and most important, the last component, I think that was also talked about, how do you maintain the building, what will happen to the life of the building being looked after. And therefore, that's an important chapter. And that brings me to the next one, of the new part 12 on the building in the NBC being added, on assets and facility management. Nowhere in the world you have a chapter on assets and facility management. So it's the most important thing. How do you keep it going? A 60-year life building, what do you do the first 10 years to maintain it? Just like you take your BP or your blood sugar or whatever at regular intervals, how do you deal with that? How do you put that maintenance cost or what's called OPEX to be done? Operating cost for maintaining the particular building, structural, non-structural, finishing and services. All the four are very important components. How do you keep it going on the building on that? So the building performs the way we thought it will perform on that. So therefore the capex and the opex put together is the cost on. Ashok, I gave a reply to your question, but you are not there. Anyway, we'll tell during lunch. So that particular thing has been brought in over there in a very large way. This he also touched. His last but one slide on Ashok was also on maintenance of things. The vertical thing on the last slide was maintenance. And I'm very happy that this has been included very large. So those buildings which has got the right level of thing, be it a finished material or anything, with the least amount of maintenance cost is going to be the one which is going to, at the end of the fast time. Not a thing which will initially capital cost low, but huge maintenance cost, continuous amount of change in 5 years, 10 years, time, etc. So that won't stand the test of time. So you're going to get into these particular areas. And the whole approach is therefore to have building materials that are environment friendly, ecologically appropriate, energy saving, economical, use of both agricultural and industrial waste coming, whether it's going to be fly ash from thermal power station, or red mud from aluminium factories, or use phosphogypsum from fertilizer factory, or agricultural waste material, all of them will be now used from as new building material. Your new building blocks are no more going to be bricks. You will not get that brick because your top fertile clay is not available. Your population increase from already 100 crores to 140 crores new stomach is coming. So you get more food and not less food. And that particular agricultural soil is the best one to make the bricks. And you have to cut that particular thing, and you have to cut the trees to burn the bricks over there. So your building blocks also will undergo. I'm very happy the embodied energy component has been brought out in a very large way, and therefore these substitutes are therefore going to stand this test of time on all these particular things. Technologies can be local, vernacular, the way people have been building mostly in the rural area, or conventional, the one which you are aware, standard RCC, column, beams, as well as slab, and put a brickwork or blockwork with similar model 1:6 or something. That's a new technology everybody wants. We are still in what can I say? While medical, electronic, automobile, all sectors have gone to 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Building construction technology are still at 0.0. We are not gone much. Maybe some marginal few steps we have taken on that. That's not enough. You've got to undergo a lot of change from the conventional one is coming over that. What we are used to, what you taught in the colleges, what is there in the specification, what's in practice over there. We get on to the industrial systems, which is now slowly going to speed up. If you want to construct the families, the population is growing at such a fast rate. Housing can't grow at the same rate. Infrastructure can't grow, the roads can't be laid, water can't be laid, sewage can't be laid. But population is increasing. Has gone. You thought it was just 100 crores. We are already 132 crores in 19 years' time. We are going to be 140 crores, 40 crores getting added in a short time. You got to the speed of construction becomes very, very important there. Housing cannot be done the way business as usual approach, 2 to 3 years or 4 years just to have one housing block to be completed. You've got to think another, doing it about 1 year's time, 1.5 years time period, what technology are required. All these options are coming. A lot of interesting work are there, I'm sure. Saab will open out a little more on those particular areas as well. And then alternative systems, which are intermediate options between the second and the third. That is best explained by this one beautiful slide over there. We are in a rural area, walking up to a small town, medium town, population of 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, then 10 lakhs, and come down to a big city of around 1 million, as you said, that beautiful 3 cities or whatever. Technology will undergo change. If normally vernacular local material is there on the rural area on mud, stone, lime, bamboo, timber, biomass, on which they are used to, 100%, no architect, no engineer, it's a bottom-up approach by people. Here we are talking of architects, engineers, builders, it's a top-down. We are totally, we can't breathe if we can't steel. We can't get cement, if we can't get blocks. We are not used to dealing with the stone and lime anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? So therefore, we got to find out if that is around 500 rupees a square feet. This can be around, he said 1,700. I'm putting it 2,500. This over this set. Even 1,700, you didn't want that. So therefore, we are talking about the technologies which can go from as low as 500 rupees a square feet to as high as 2,500 or 3,000 rupees a square feet. And this, and a big city component there. Very small town, etc., maybe around 1,500. But for affordable housing, you got to bring it down to somewhere around 1,000 rupees a square. So how do you do that? So that's where this slide rule can change between using both traditional options and technological options. I can keep on changing. Maybe it's a 100% traditional, zero technology, or 100% technology and zero tradition. Have a mix of both these things coming on that. I can do that 30-70, 40-60 ratio by which using some of those traditional wisdoms, by using not entirely all modern one, but using both those things, you can have what is called appropriate, intermediate, cost-effective, disaster-resistant, sustainable technology. So this is a very major movement by itself, on which you have to work on. And this is an area in which a lot of options are available. A presentation on this can take one day to give what are all the options in foundation, what are all the new options in walling, roofing. Ashok did talk about some of the new ones or the interlocking blocks towards the last but 4 slides of his presentation. But I intentionally left out because my express was going to go to something else. For each one of them, at least 30 to 40%, 10 to 40% saving. If conventional technologies today, if what you're used to doing morning and evening, is this cost about 1,700, can you bring that to about 1,000 rupees a square feet without sacrificing structural safety or durability or functional performance? And that's where the whole thing is about. So therefore, use cost-effective technologies for dealing with the affordable housing of the weaker section of low income and larger. So that's going to be our biggest challenge, how architects, engineers and builders get used to that type of technologies of construction. But in all those things, what he said is important. It will be low-rise, high density. It won't be the high-rise type of building where the cost will go up due to various reasons, which of course I don't want to explain at this point of time. And therefore, all these things become an important component. And therefore, let's hope that those technology options, for those who are interested, we can have a day session, what all the cost-effective technologies we can do. We can make a detailed presentation on the particular thing and where all it has been applied and very successfully being completed over there. They have stood the test of time, they are validated, so those things are already available. And for all of you, I thought I should let you know that this is an important page where just about 2 months back, March 2nd and 3rd, the Prime Minister took a big lead called, there's a major initiative for the Global Housing Technology Challenge India. Please raise your hands and how many people know GHTC India? 1, 2, of course, Mayor I know 3, very bad. So maybe we are about 140 people, 3 or 4 people only are known. Global Housing Technology Challenge India is a very major initiative that the Ministry of Government of India and the Ministry of Housing has taken this particular initiative for, primarily to bring in all technologies, to bring a 1.0 or 2.0 on housing technology in India, the way Korea has done, or Japan has done, or Singapore has done, or Malaysia has done, or other developed countries have done, to do their particular housing business over there. And he also declared 2019-20 for the first time after 70 years of independence as for the year of construction technology. How many people know that 2019-20 is the year of construction technology? 2 months are over. April and ma'am knows, Saab knows, 3 people are known. So this is, we are in a very important thrust area of year of construction technology. They all want to encourage all the new innovative technologies that you have in any part of the world by which you can bring down the cost of construction, you can increase the speed of construction, you can also bring the performance of the building in a very large way. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great opportunity. Don't be tied up that these are only 2 technologies I'll do, column, beam and masonry. You have options available now in a very, very large way to deal with this particular thing. So, Green Path is therefore a new area which will talk in terms of beyond the walls and roofs and structures point of view. And this is where the IGBC starting point in 134 years old CI, and we started about in 2001. The idea is to be the leader for the green building movement large. We started with one building of 20,000 square feet in 2001. The first building, and I'm very happy and proud when I'm standing before you now. At this point, 19 years later, we are about over 5,000 green projects. Each project can be very large over there, about 6.76 billion square feet. When you say that, you may not make it. That means 676 crore square feet. 676 crore square feet of green buildings have come over there with all those attributes of green building coming in this particular area. And we are at this particular point of time, India is number 2nd in the world now. We got to be number 1 in this particular thing. And therefore, your 25 rating systems are available. And commercial building, all those rates, health and well-being, the 3 ratings there. Residential, we started IGBC Green Home. Now, very interesting. And this is an important component which predominantly covers the top 2 of the middle and high income group housing. Then by the time the new government formed in 2015, they launched the particular PMAY program, became this IGBC rating for green affordable home. For those who want, copies can be taken just from outside. Very interesting. That means green is not an issue for the rich and the affluent and the middle income. It's equally applicable to the poor and the low income. All the affordable homes that you're doing, sir, can be also green. And they're very happy to know the type of impact that's happening in this particular sector. Now, if you see, we have done about 13,50,000 units. Many may not have known that that's the type of housing that has been done so far under the green footprint at all. While IGBC or Perigraha must still be of the order 1,000 houses or 2,000 houses or 10,000 houses, 13.5 lakhs of homes have already been done in India with big developers, small developers, medium developers, big cities, small cities and tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Very, very, very good impact coming. Factory buildings, offices, townships, green transit, green villages and green cities. We have gone from buildings to the built environment. Built environment, there are buildings along with infrastructure is built environment. So it's not only one building being green, but you can have the whole campus coming as green over there. You can have a township coming as green. You can have a neighborhood coming as green over there. So that's an important stretch that we have been able to do in a very large way. Our whole idea is to achieve by the year 2022, because you got 2023 as your thing. And you said you will do around 8 million square meter. 8 million square meter. And our idea is to achieve 10 billion square feet or 1,000 crore square feet of green footprint. We achieved 6.8, let's say, billion. Or that's about 680 crores or something like that. We have to add about an additional 3.2 billion square feet in the next 2 to 3 years time period. We have got 2019, 2020, 21 and 22 time. And maybe one more year less. And what I want to say, if you are going to add 3.2 billion or 3,200 square meter over there, you're going to add in that particular thing of the order about 80 coming out there. So you will be 2.5% of that total contribution towards the one. So it's very happy that you also set an agenda for 2022 of achieving of the order about 8 million square feet or 8 crores of square feet. I mean, square feet 1 by 10 if you decide it. I'm very happy that you're working on this particular area, and we are all, that's a figure that I got, 10 billion square feet is what we are going to achieve. By the time India will be number 1, and we are part of the World Green Building Council. There are 64 countries are green building councils of this nature. US Green Building Council, Britain, you got the BREEAM rating, you got a lot of rating from all the other countries. You have got 193 countries, but only 64 countries have their own Green Building Council do the rating, and India is a very important component of the World Green Building Council in this particular area. So please note 10 billion square feet when we are doing there, 3,200 million square feet. Your contribution will be 80 million square feet in that particular one. Okay, we are taking that into account in a very large. I'm very happy about that. Please note. And all the natures, the Panchabhutas of earth, water, Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash, and that is done to site selection, water conservation, energy, and your last slide has already brought how much saving is going to come. And you also said how much saving. I would like to repeat that. You see the water body, the local material, the courtyard design, some traditional component, and on the jalis or grills, and the Venturi effect, the daylighting to be done. Each one of them are contributing towards that. And at this point of time, I want to bring in another new dimension. It's not enough that you deal only with the building. The building blocks are equally important. Therefore, a new rating has come for Green Pro, and that's for all the building materials which are rated. You'll have cement, steel, bricks. 250 building materials are available of that. Now, I'm very happy that the CA and the council has got the Green Pro rating. It's also become extremely popular. And you can understand, just see this one, in a short 3 years time period, each one of them got for the Green Pro certification. And therefore, if you are able to have the green building, the building blocks that go into it, the paint that goes into it, the flooring that goes into it, the walling block, the roofing block, the cement, concrete, everything will go into the particular thing into also in a very large way. And this is an area where already has got the GEN certification handed over by the European certification for the particular thing is coming under this particular area. And we are very happy that our Green Pro certification also got the European recognition also in a large way. Some of those products are predominantly coming in this particular area. You can see it for yourself in detail on that. And that's important. The few slides going to rush over there are all coming, all those things on green and speedy construction of the important thing. I just thought I'll take a minute before I go forward on that. All these rating systems are very, very simple architects, engineers, and the MEPF consultant, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting consultant, who are all part of a landscaping people, who are all part of a professional group, along with the builder and developer. Once they decide to bring a green building project over there, and obviously that's an area where you are able to have the water efficiency of the order of around 30 to 40% saving, energy efficiency about 20 to 30 or 35% with all the inputs, ESL, various other people are doing, passive design and active design put together, water saving with rainwater harvesting, aquifer recharging, wastewater recycling, low flow fixtures used for water. There are various things are there. There's a 100-point rating scale for each of those small things that you count. Drops, you get 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark. It's like a question paper that you write over there, and you may answer all of them well, or some of them you may do bad. Exam results have come just now for all over the country. So if you get an 80 out of 100, you get a platinum rating. A 70 to 80, you get a gold rating. A silver rating of 60 out of 100, and 50 and above is a certified green building. Anything less than that is an absolutely non-green, unsustainable product. Like he has also said, what is unsustainable? Beyond that, he said, no, I don't want to provide that too tall building you are using. How much is the figure that you gave for the 5 or something like that? 5.5. No. So no for that. So you've got to find out what can be done. Done under 2 stages. One is called a pre-certificate. Based on your design intentions, you as a builder, and you as an architect, and you as a consultant, put together, well, I'm going to come up with this great project of 1,000 houses coming in Koramangala. Okay? Green affordable housing or green home rating. Then they will go through it, each one of your design intentions, and try to evaluate this particular thing, including independent third-party assessment on what you have done. If you do this, you will get so much points on that. They say, based on what all you have done, boss, you're just getting only about 72. You can get only a gold. You can't get a platinum. But he said, no, I want to make it platinum because that's a good marketing one for my project there. You can do, provided you use some more additional component on energy saving or water saving, or put some more of the ESL initiative or on the water saving initiative, wastewater recycling to be done, building material to use better, or better fenestration design, envelope design, as he said, the north, south, east, west, all those wonderful points. They're all done by the architects in their own little office there, by little amount of putting the thinking cap on, based on their own knowledge on the solar path analysis depending upon the location there. And what is important is all the ratings that you have in India are based on India's climatological condition. I mean, an area where previously the IGBC and other rating was not able to find, because they are based on those particular things in surrogate cities that you have. But I was happy to hear from yesterday night, sitting with Lalsa, that they are also trying to make it indigenous and larger. But more importantly, it will take care of all the requirements of hot, humid, hot, arid, cold, temperate region. Every one of those particular for Indian conditions, the rating system are there. And therefore, pre-certified is a clearance for you. Your rating, if you do all this, your particular project can get a plan. Then you do construct the building. Then you install the water, sanitation, the building block, everything. At the end of it, they evaluate the building is completed, and then we go for a detailed survey, and then based on the particular thing, assessment, we give a real certification. So certification is a two-way process, a pre-certification, construction phase, a certification to be done over there. And then we also have the review coming. Are you really doing? Then at the time they say, you said you're going to save 30% energy. Are you saving 30? You said you'll save 40% water. I am trying to have a lot of impact coming very shortly, because these are some of the buildings which are done, which I'll come back again in a minute from now. Well, like the prefab homes in Karnataka, 17 days time. This is the township which is coming here, and then beautiful. The gold certification which is coming this particularly so beautifully done, with all those components are what all I just said is all incorporated there. This is actually Tata Housing in Pune, which has got a gold rating in 2014. You got the Raheja Vistas project in Hyderabad. It cuts through all the geographies. The idea is it's catching up very well. And there is one New Delhi, one of the big one, zero waste facility coming in, the particular one. Only it got a silver only though over there. Godrej doing in Gurugram in gold rating project, or KGC Eternity in Chennai doing fairly well. And these are in Coimbatore, Akshaya unit coming in that. It's an integrated approach that you have over there of not only the landscaping coming, the amount of the heat island effect has to be reduced in a large way. When you bring all this new construction coming, your temperature starts rising. How do you obviate that with the right greening to be, landscaping to come over there, the water bodies to be brought in over there. So you've got to give a softening effect of all the development and not put everything on the hard, the concrete and everything there of warming up the whole environment large. You can bring down the temperature as much as about 4 to 5 degrees of difference if only you're able to put all these inputs into a very large way. And because of all this impact that is produced over there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy that this is being recognized by the government largely. Just like the Ministry of Power through EESL is done for energy saving, to energy conservation, building code in a large way. For now, many states have come forward. You're going green, you're doing well. You're saving environment, you're saving water, you're saving energy. Your waste management is good. Your carbon footprint is reduced over there. I am ready to incentivize. I'll give an additional floor area ratio of 15% for platinum rated building. To be platinum rated building. And I'll give a 10% additional FAR if it is a gold rated building. And a 7.5% I'll give a silver rated. So that's an incentive for the builders and developers in a very large way. So already West Bengal has done it. Orissa has done it, Uttar Pradesh has done it for all, 1/5 of the country. 25 crores is a UP population throughout. Rajasthan has done this and it has been in Punjab. Most of the states are coming one by one. We have still not got that in Karnataka. We are getting that particular order issued very shortly so that people in the room should know about that particular area. One is FAR and FSI to be increased over there. Some states are going to come and say, oh, you're doing so good, you're saving water, I'm ready to bring down your property tax. I'll reduce your property tax if you continue to show your results of 20% of 30-40% reduction in energy and water consumption. You're saving my water. Local body is happy. Your property tax can come down by 20%, 15% for a platinum and gold, 10, 20, 15 and 10. So then you have to show continuously year on year. So there's not a one shot, oh, rating will get whether I really do it or not. My marketing document is coming. IGBC gold. I sell a few products. I don't do any of the implementation. By the time you complete, you won't get a certification at all. Then you have to show that you're continuously maintaining that. You will get the benefit on the property tax also coming in a very large way. Well, at the end of the day, if you do all this together, you can get sustainable, durable, affordable, green habitat. I'm using the green habitat, and that will be using appropriate and sustainable technology. I would like to close with this particular words at this point of time. Short presentation, but I'll be happy to take 5 questions, each one very short questions. I can answer that on that. I stop at this point. Who would like to take questions? A mic should be there available. How many people would like to raise questions? That will itself be one. Yeah, you start with one. Second will come immediately after that. Your name, organization?
I'm Dilip Kumar. I'm heading operations of Raja Housing.
Oh, wonderful. Raheja is one organization who got all their housing done with the...
Raja Housing.
Raja Housing. As good as Raheja should be. Raja means king.